Hi, I'm Jeff Banks, the founder of Banks Consultancy, Not Your Ordinary Accountants, and these are our tidbits of the day. And today I want to talk to you about the word intention. In tax, intention can be the difference between getting a capital gains tax exemption or having to pay tax at a revenue basis. Intention can also mean the difference between getting something assessed this way or not being assessed at all, or a deduction being claimed or not being claimed. It's about making sure that what we think is what the evidence shows, and then what we report is allowable within the taxation legislation. Particularly here, we talk about contractors. We talk about property investors. If a property investor here in his entity here that does renovating for profit and what have you, then pollutes that with a property that is a long-term investment, you may very well lose the capital gains tax exemption on that long-term property, because from the tax department's point of view, it appears that the intention of that particular entity was to use property as a profit-making venture rather than an investment. See what I mean? If we've got an entity over here that only does property investment, i.e. it rents properties out for a long period, gets rent and then sells them down the track, I would suspect capital gains tax legislation will apply. But if we're over here buying and selling properties as if they were stock, the intention is obviously to be in a business situation, and the profits from the sale and purchase of those properties, whether they be inside 12 months or outside 12 months, which is what the normal capital gains legislation might talk about, will still be taxed as normal revenue rather than under the capital gains tax regime. Similarly, if we look at contractors, if you aren't satisfying those 4 tests that you need to satisfy to prove that you are a business, then personal services legislation will apply, which we talked about last week. It's all about intention. Intention is a very dangerous and important word when it comes to taxation. The tax department will use the word to say, well, hang on, it was obvious your intention was to do that, therefore no matter how it's reported, we're going to tax you this way rather than this way. As always, professional help is only a phone call or an email away. Contact us here at Banks Consultancy and one of my team will work you through all those sorts of things so that your intention is represented by your tax return and by the transactions that you try to effect. That's all for me this week. I'm Jeff Banks from Banks Consultancy, and we are Not Your Ordinary Accountants.